All right, so welcome to this part, this second part. Like I said, we are going to continue from crafting effective message. How do you craft effective messages? Please pay close attention, right? Please pay close attention here because from here I'm going to give you assignments. All right, now the ADI model. If you want to craft a message, a sales copy, a copywriting script that stands out, you must understand this strategy called the ADI model. Now, I'm not a formulation of ADI model. I'm not the author of ADI model. As a marketer who writes and as a copywriter, you should be able to know about ADI model. Now, what is the ADI model? Number one is attention. A stands for attention. Now, your write-up must be able to grab the person's attention. In fact, your heading should grab the person's attention. It should be very compelling to grab the person's attention. So if somebody put your message, what you write pop up, if your text or how they call, if your email, if you write an email, it just pop on somebody's phone, you should be able to make the reader to click it. So you have to look for a way of getting a good headline, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. Now, the second one is interest. Use relatable and engaging content to maintain focus. Now, you must capture the interest of that person. The person, what you are writing should keep the person interested. And of course, what you are writing should be about everything that is about your product. So that when you are using something that is relatable, like I was giving a story of how you were traveling from Calabar to Abuja, that story is relatable, and especially if you are talking about smelling and perfume. All right, so use something that's relatable so that the reader will know that, oh, as you are mentioning that story or mentioning that, he knows that, okay, this thing is relatable, I'm understanding it. But if you go and give a story of how something happened in the Bible or something happened in the Quran, and then you want to now relate it, no, the person, it does not relate. So you have to use something that is relatable to catch their interest. Number one is you're catching their attraction, that's their attention for them to come in, and then you are going to use some words, some relatable stories that is going to now keep their interest in the paper you are writing. All right. The next one is desire. Of course, when in keeping their interest, you need to highlight their desire to buy that. You need to arise that desire in them to buy that product. And how do you arise their desire? Number one is give them the benefit. See, people want to know why they should buy your product. People won't want to know what they will benefit if they buy your product. You are selling pen. Why should they buy pen from you? What is the difference? Why should they buy from you, not other people selling pen? You are selling perfume. Why should they buy perfume from you, not others? You are not the only person selling any of those products. All right. So people are already selling them. You are right, people are selling things, all right? So why should they leave those people and come, especially if your brand is new? Why should they do that? So you need to highlight those particular points and make them very clear for them. All right, see, this strategy I'm giving you is very important because you need to understand how these things work, because this is human psychology. If you are learning, if you're a marketer or you're a copywriter, you must know how the human mind work. You must know what triggers humans buying power. You must know how the buying behavior of human being works. And this is what I'm telling you, that the buying behavior of human power is tied actually to the benefit. They want to know why they should buy from you. And then you have to spell it clear. Don't ponder around the bush. Spell it clear. In fact, sometimes I used to advise that you normal it. Benefit number one, this is what I get. Number two, this is what I get. The more of them, the better. All right. And then the next one is action. You have given them, you have grabbed their attention, you have kept their interest, you have aroused the desire for them to buy, and then you have given them the benefit, the features, whatever they need about that product. The next thing is to tell them to buy. Now, there are some people who will give you the benefit, give you the pictures, the graphics, the everything. They expect that once the buyer sees, then the prospective client sees it, they should be able to just buy at once. No, don't assume on your client's behalf that this is what will happen. All right, don't assume on their behalf. Tell them what to do. This is very important. That's what we call to action, CTA. Call to action. Always tell them what to do. You want them to click on your link, tell them to click on your link to see so and so. You want them to buy, tell them to buy so and so. You want them to download your app, tell them to download your app. After you are done your writing, the last part of it should be the call to action, and this is very important. Again, in crafting a good write-up, I said it must involve 5 things, and those are called AIDA model. AIDA is AIDA, as you are seeing on the board. Now, the first one is attention. Your headline will grab the attention. Now, whatever you are talking should be relatable to keep their interest reading, and then of course you need to arouse a desire in them for to buy. As you are talking and they see, I say, okay, this thing is good. Their desire is coming up. Okay, I think this is better than what I bought last time. Okay, their desire is coming up, and then you now give them the benefit why they should buy from you. When you give them the benefit, the why, the everything, and then they will have to they will also come. All right, so this is nice, and this is nice. This is nice, and then you put a call to action to it. Now, tips for effective messaging. Keep it simple and avoid jargons. Don't use big grammar. I personally, I know how to use grammar, but I don't use grammar when I'm writing. I don't use grammar when I'm talking. I try to be very simple as possible. But if you see me back in secondary school days, man, I used to speak grammar. But I was telling a friend today how when I was giving a senior prophet in school, I used to speak a lot of grammar until a teacher called me and told me if he speak Chinese and I did not hear and he want to tell me something important, what will I do? And I thought I would feel bad. And I said that's how students feel bad when they hear me, even though they laugh. So when you are conveying something, don't speak jargon. They won't even understand what you are writing. Be as simple as possible. In fact, I always say this in copywriting class. Write the way you talk. It's as if you are talking to a friend. You don't use grammar. Sometimes you use your dialect. Sometimes you use pidgin. Use pidgin while writing. See, this thing that my head is not cracking. My hand is not knocking. See, write the way you speak. Because when you go and buy something from the market, because the person selling is busy using is busy using pidgin with you. Is talking, is trying to manipulate your emotions, trying to take you. I went to buy fan and the person why we I told the price did not augur, and I was about leaving and the guy told me you don't want me to feed my family. My guy, come now, come, I will reduce 1,000 for you. I end up buying that thing. So you have to understand how to manipulate the human, you need to know how to manipulate emotions, people's emotions to buy. Of course, I said again, you need to avoid jargon. Don't use English. Don't use language that they will not understand. If you want to use pidgin at some point of time, use it. You are free. This is not blogging. This is not article writing. This is not news reporting. Whatever you want to write, whatever any way you want to convey the message that people will understand, convey it. Even if I've written articles that at some point I used pidgin before, so it's good. So just write in the converse as if you are conversating with somebody. Write it. The way you are feeling it is the way you should be writing. This is not a blog post or an article post where you go and see what this person is writing and be writing big. No. This is you talking to somebody. As if you are writing as if you are talking to somebody. This is marketing, pure marketing. So you need to understand this strategy. If you don't understand this strategy, you feel that maybe you are not the one not doing well. All right. So enough of this. Of course, you need to focus on benefits over features. I've explained that. Don't try to explain how your product looks. No, give them the benefit why they should buy it. All right. They are not buying the features; they are buying the benefit. All right. Of course, I said address the audience directly using you. Address them directly using you. Don't address them. In fact, sometimes you address them by their name, especially if you are talking to a crowd of people. Single them out, call them by their name. If you call them by their name, it means they will feel a sense of belonging. They will feel a sense of this person knows me. All right, so you have to do that. All right, so now let's move to how to craft a good copywriting techniques and strategies. Now this topic was important, but it's just one slide and I've explained everything. At least it's up to 9 minutes now. So now let's go to the next one. This is the assignment. Select an advertisement that resonates with you. Break it down using the AIDA model and prepare a 5-minute presentation for week 2. Now let's leave for week 2, right? Your assignment is simple. Choose any product. I'm not giving you any product. Choose any product and break it down into into 5 phases. Number 1, write attention, and then your headline should be under that attention. It should be very eye-catching. The interest, separate it the interest, and then follow the steps I've been given. Under desire, I use their desire and put the heading to be a desire before the normal heading, so that I will know what you are writing for is this, because I'm going to check this assignment myself. right? So then you put everything step by step. So you have to choose a topic and write as if you are marketing the product to Express Tech Academy. Please, very important. Market it to Express Tech Academy, market it to Minerata Dennis. Very important. All right, so let's talk about the copywriting techniques and strategies. What are the strategies, the techniques you need in order to become an effective copywriter? Number one is that your headline must be a hook. Hey, like in the headline model I told you, I said your headline is responsible to grab the attention. So your headline, that's your title, your topic, must be a hook. When in those days we used to be in the village, we used to go to fish in the river, we will use hook, we use hook, and then we put something like small meat on the hook, and then we throw to the river. Fish will now perceive whatever meat we are using, and then they will now come to eat that thing. They will eat it until they get into the hook, and we draw the fish out. That's what we used to use to fish. This is exactly what you are doing here. Your headline is that particular meat you are trying to bring the fish into the hook. You should be able to hook it. So if you don't put a good meat that is not scenting, is not good, fish will boycott you and go to the next person who has it. Because of course we used to go to the river, many of us. Is the same as this. You are not the only one selling your product. People are selling it. So you need to be very professional. Oh my God. You need to understand this. Alright, so now let's go. Importance of a strong hook. Headlines are the first point of contact with the audience. 80% of people will read the headline, but only 20%. I have emails that I've never touched. Why? But I have some of them that I've touched. If I showed you my email now, you see that there are some of them I've touched. Why? Because those ones compelled me. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And then how do you write these tips? What are the tips for writing a headline that is a hook, that is very compelling? Number one, you can use something like numbers. Use numbers. Something like 5 ways to boost your sales in 2025. Now, if somebody is looking for ways to boost his sales in his business, if he sees the article with this headline anywhere, I am guaranteeing you, he will open the article because he's looking for how to boost his sales. 5 ways to do this, 10 ways to do this, top 10 this, top 10 that. Of course, we have here top 10. This is how to use it. So if you find articles where they say top 10 this, top 7, top 7 ways to do this, 7 this, you yourself, you tell me the truth. If you won't click it more than if you just see a normal headline of just a casual headline. So when you use something like the numbers, like 5 ways to boost your sales, top 5 this, top this, and then the second one is you need to use questions. You need to start with, maybe you can start with asking a question. Are you suffering from business failure? This is the way in this article. Somebody is going to say, if you are having business failure, you're going to click that article. You're going to click that copywriting script. You're going to click that sales copy, right? Now, where is your website losing customers? Is your business losing customers? Is somebody whose business is losing customers would like to pay attention to what you're saying? This is how to write compelling hooks, and I want you to pay close attention. All right, so I say create urgency, limited time offer, don't miss out. Something like you create an urgency like, this thing is going to last long, so like this. All right, so you need to understand that people will do that. All right, now like we just offer a free graphic designing class and we're giving out a certificate for just 1,000 naira. So something I took my time to teach, but we're giving a certificate for just 1,000, and I say the certificate is lasting for just 48 hours. And people did not pay much on the first day, but coming close to the closing hour, which I still reiterate that okay, the time was going to close, people started buying. So people's mind are closer to urgency. They like responding to urgency. That's human for you. So when you put a promotional offer, you just say we have 10 slots for the we have 20% discount for the first 10 people. You see that people will always want to be among the 10 people so that they'll be able to get the 20%. So you give promotional offers, and then you give discounts, and then you give limited time offer. You can just tell them don't miss out. This is how to write a sales copy. Please, this is how to write a sales copy. So in your assignment, you need to do this. And of course, you need to write topics like how to, of course, how to do this, how to do this, how to do this. how to make sales in 2025, how to grow in your business, how to grow your any topic that start to do with how to people will always like to open it. So your headlines should revolve around these tips I've just given, right? Now your headline should revolve around this thing. So you craft a hook, start with a surprising statistics. That is, we are talking about your introduction now. Once you are done with the headline, your hook, that is the introduction now, should now be, you can start with the story, you can start with the statistic, you can start with the question, you can start with an emotional appeal. Please always try to massage their emotions. Always try to massage the emotion. All right, always try to start with something that is very interesting. So because if you don't start with something that is very interesting, nobody will even follow you, not to talk of to see down part where they will see the benefit of the CTA. So you need to start with something that is very beneficial. All right, something that is very interesting to them, like a story, something that is relatable. All right, of course we have writing for different medias, adapting copy for print verse. There we have talked about writing for different platforms in the first section. So I said that is where you write for focus. So we are not going to focus here, but my emphasis here is that when you know where you are writing it for, not the target audience now, where you're writing it for, it informs a new decision in you. It changes the way you write. If you're writing for a TV station, or you're writing to publish in an email, you write different from if you're writing to post on a website. You write different from website if you're posting on a TV station or a radio station. So you have to understand how the different platform work, so that it informs you on what to do. Of course, if you're writing for social media copywriting, you can use something like hashtags. Of course, you're going to be seeing that in SEO, right? So you're going to use hashtag. Sometimes you use emoji, because this one is marketing, it's conversational. You may not use emojis in blog writing article, but in copywriting, you are talking as if you are talking to somebody. You are writing as if you are talking to somebody. The way I'm talking, I'm saying it is doing me as if I should write, because that's how I write. Alright, and that's how I want you to write, because that is the proper way to do it. Of course, you can write, you can use catchy phrases, align tone and voice with platform culture, formal for LinkedIn, casual for Instagram, etc. Now, there are some of the articles where you may decide, some of your words, you may, as you're writing, you can decide to bold some of them. Any word that is important in the work, bold it. And then some of them that are important, you can put them in capital letter and all of that. That's how to write. And then when you are writing, give space. Don't jam pack your work. Don't write as if and your work should not have too many subheadings. Freestyle yourself. Freestyle yourself. You are not writing article where each heading has disadvantage. No, just freestyle yourself. Just write something. Let me see if I'll be able to show you any of my promotional email. All right, so I'll come to my email, and then I'll come to, oh, today's my birthday. All right, so let's just send me another day happy birthday. Okay, but let me come to promotional this one under my email, and then I put this 100%. Now look at this, very short but very informational. You say 100% discount coupon is waiting on your account, ready to be used. Immediately I see 10% offer, 10% discount. I say, what? If this is what I wanted to buy and the money is not there and I'm seeing 10%, I will click it immediately. But see the title say 10% off coupon is about to expire. So I say, they gave me 10 coupon is about to expire, let me check. This is very informative. All right, so of course you are seeing, please note the coupon is, they are just giving you kind of very informative kind of things. All right, so let me check another one. Let me check another one and say, okay, this one is for jobs. So okay, let's not just proceed, right? Because it's going to take us time. I just wanted to show you how one of them will look. So all these images you see, you are seeing that they are very captivating, and they can move you, all right? They can move you to take an action. So if you are writing for all these social media platforms, you need to be formal. Email copywriting, of course, I just said it. Start with a compelling subject. I just showed you how this subject looks here, and all of that. So let me come back, please. So personalize content with the recipient's name. Now, if I check one of these contents, you will see that sometimes they used to address me. Okay, look at this. Look at this one. Like I said, he said, "Dear Dennis Onimia," they are directing it at me. I used to trade forex, so this is one of the broker I use. So okay, now let me see any of them that address me again. Okay, see this one, Dennis Onigia. VGM has an opposition. They send this message to a lot of people, but each of them is personalized. So when I see Dennis in the guy, who knows me? Who is personalizing me? I'm not going to open it. So this is how to write the copywriting. So see, you don't need to miss any of these classes, right? So because I'm going to be teaching you exactly what you should be doing, right? So now let's come back to here, and of course I said personalized content with the recipient's name or interest, include a clear CTA clearly. Of course you see that we're having a clear CTA there, right? So of course you can, the art of persuasion, right? We are talking about copywriting techniques and strategies, and I've talked about hook, I talk about the introduction, and I've talked writing for different platforms, and here I'm talking about the art of persuasion. Remember the definition of copywriting I gave you, that is the art of writing a persuasive content with a specific something in mind for a specific action, with a mind of making the viewer or the reader to take a specific action. So you are trying to write to persuade. How do you write to persuade? Number one, use a good headline. That's the header model we are talking about now. Use a good headline, use relatable stories, give the benefits over features, and of course give a CTA. This is very important. Appeal to the emotions. Now, in appealing to the emotions, all right, and this is where I always like to say this: paint their problem for them. Paint it. Like, call the problem loud. Like as you're writing, call the problem loud. Do you like how you used to smell? Do you like how you used to step out? Do you like how people used to run away from you? Do you like how you used to sit on a vehicle and people like don't used to like sitting close to you? Do you know that even though people don't say it to you, you might be smelling? I know that this may sound somehow, but you are painting the problem to them after to introduce the solution to them, which is going to work for you. So this is a strategy that works perfectly and has been working. Now, as you are painting the problem, you are not trying to insult them. You are not trying to paint them as, oh, directly to them. No. Sometimes you can try to generalize it, but first of all, paint their problem. As you are painting their problem, you are massaging their emotions. You are trying to manipulate their emotions. I used to say copywriting is writing to manipulate. That's how I used to talk. I used to say that copywriting is writing to manipulate because you are writing to persuade. So you are writing to change somebody's mind from the original state to maybe a buying state or an action state. All right, so that is that. Of course, appeal to desire, fears, or aspiration. Example: secure your family's future today. Logical, you have to present facts, stats, and data. If you have any data or statistics or other questions, anything, you have to present them to them. And then statistics shows that people living in Abuja, if you're showing selling a HIV drugs, for example, and I saw a report recently that over 112 people were 12 men were sampled and they did HIV test for them, and then over 80 of them were HIV positive. That's a good statistics to use to sell HIV drugs if you were having HIV drugs. So if you have any good statistics about your product already, use them. People are going to be convinced by that. All right. So call this storytelling in copywriting, create relatable scenarios featuring a problem and a solution. Of course, use testimonials or case studies to build credibility. Of course, for this particular set, we're going to be ending very soon. So of course, like I said, don't assume that they will buy, don't assume that they will click, don't assume that they will download. Always tell them to do so. So that's what we call call to action, also called CTA. All right. So what are the characteristics of CTAs? In writing a CTA, you must be clear, you must be concise, and you must be actionable. Buy now. Take the action now. Click the link now. Download now. You have been seeing all these things. Those things are very straight to the point, clear, and they're very actionable. Of course, you are seeing download now, sign up today. So you got sometimes you create a sense of urgency, like I said, limited time offer. 10 we have 10 discount for the first 10 people, or for the first, just like that. That's how you want to do it. All right. So this is what I've been doing most of the times. I've been doing it, especially if you are marketing for Express Academy. We have been doing it, and it's working somehow for us. Right. So most of you here paid because we wanted to pay for the course because we wanted to do so and so. I wanted the idea of this guy. If you don't pay before this particular time, that's why how most of you paid, and that's a strategy we used. All right. So of course, testing CTAs. Of course, if you can test, we have what we call A and B testing. When we were talking about social media management, I talked about A and B testing, right? So if you want to do A and B testing, you want to test to see if this thing is working, you can test. Especially if you will be using email, you will be testing using and giving out email. Sometimes writing emails rather. Sometimes you need to test your email to see whether everybody will receive it. You test to some group of people to see if they will receive it before you now send to a larger number. I've tried that before and it worked. And now we are going to go into a step, four-step content copywriting strategy that engages readers. Four-step content copywriting strategy that engages readers. Number one is develop a winning workflow. You must know what you are doing, develop how it was supposed to be, and of course construct internal deliverables. Whatever will be within the article that will be able to be delivered, that will be able to give you a good job. And then of course we have task clarification and communicate your strategy. I know that this is grammar, but then I just put it here for you to see if you'll be able to understand. But of course, it's very plain here to understand. Now we are going to move to the next section because this section will end. But then let me give you this. In the next section, copywriting talks about there are two key areas where they need you as a copywriter. Number one, in creating a landing page, and number two, in managing emails. And I'm going to be showing you that in the next section.